Okay, guys, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how exactly you should go about, in terms of your risk management, while taking trades on the Pro Trader group. So, how to manage your trades, how to take them, when to take them, etc. So, make sure you watch this video to the end. And if you do have any questions, afterwards, please do not feel shy to ask. And then, yeah, this video is just going to give you a guide to basically, know how to take the trades properly, how to manage the trades properly, and so on. So please make sure you watch this video to the end. It is very, very important you do so, so that you can try and see the best results. So without wasting any further time, let's go straight into it. First things first, guys, once you get into the program group, you're going to be met with a lot of trades. And when I mean a lot, I really do mean a lot. You're seeing sometimes you're going to see 20, 25 trades in a day, but that doesn't mean take every single trade that you understand. I personally recommend 5 to 6 trades maximum, nothing more than that. That is my own personal recommendation. 5 to 6 trades maximum for the product groups, nothing more than that. You just want to take as much as you can that will actually give substantial profit, give you substantial results rather than just taking anyhow trades, like taking trades all the time, being on your phone all the time. No, you just want to take as much as you can. You get what I mean? Don't take many, but just take. Yeah, you guys should be able to see my screen once again. So yeah, I was saying that you want to take 5 to 6 trades a day maximum, nothing more than that. Because like I said, we're going to see of trades, but 5 to 6 trades is the personality. And you need to notice that depending on your account size, you need to use the appropriate lot sizes. So now, for example, let's say you have $100 accounts. You don't want to be trading with anything more than, 0.01 in 2 positions. You understand? So for $100 accounts, 0.01 lot size in 2 positions is the appropriate lot size to use. And you also want to have a profit target and a daily loss limit. Your profit target should be anywhere from $15 to $20. Once you've made that, to stay away from the market. $10 to $15 daily loss limits. Once you've hit that, you stay away from the market as well. Losses are inevitable. Losses are inevitable, so you want to manage them well. And profits are also inevitable, so you also want to manage them well as well. So losses are going to happen, profits are going to happen. So you need to manage them well so that at the end of the day, at the end of the week, you're profitable, in the long run. So yeah, $100 account 0.01 in 2 positions, $200 to $300 account 0.02 in 2 positions, $300 to $500 account 0.03 and 0.02. So that's two separate lot sizes, 0.03 and 0.02, and for a $500 account, $500 to $700 account, 0.02 in 4 positions. Then $700 to $1,000 accounts, 0.03 in, 3 positions. So these are the recommended lot sizes to use for this, particular, for this particular, group. And yeah, if you do have like a bigger account size, feel free to ask questions regarding the lot sizes you use, depending on that account size. Now, when you get into the group, you're going to be met with 3 groups where they drop trades. So the first group is Synergy. So the first group where they drop a lot of trades is Synergy. Now in Synergy, you can see like a lot of trades, 20 trades, 15 trades in a day. So there are a lot of trades dropped on Synergy. The next group is Nova, and the other group is Pulse X. Now, Nova might drop around 1 to 2 trades in a day, to be honest, or 3 trades max. Pulse X could drop anywhere from 1 to 4 trades in a day. So, how you now want to go about this is that you want to be taking trades from each of these groups. I remember I said 5 to 6 trades a day maximum. So, what you would want to do is that for on the Synergy group, you don't want to be taking anything more than 3 trades from the Synergy group. So, like I said, on the Synergy group, they can drop like 15, 20 trades. So, you don't want to take anything more than 3 trades from that group for that day. You understand? You don't want to take anything more than 3 trades on that group for that day. Thing, the next group is Nova. And Nova, like I said, they drop 1 to 2 trades, but you would want to only take, to be honest, 1 trade daily from Nova. Yeah, you want to take one trade daily from Nova. Then from Pulse X, you would want to take anywhere from one to two to three trades per day on Pulse X. In the case where Nova doesn't drop a trade in a day, you now use Pulse X. So anywhere from one to two trades a day from Pulse X, Nova, one trade a day, then Synergy, nothing more than three trades a day. Once you do that, this now equates to 5 to 6 trades in a day. You understand? And anytime, and guys, take note of this, anytime you take a trade from Nova, you'd always want to reduce your risk by 50%. Anytime you take a trade from Nova, reduce your risk by 50%. Now, what do I mean by that? So, like I said, if you're taking trades, you want to be using 0.01 times in two positions for, your lot size should be 0.01 in two positions for $100 account. But if you were taking a trade from Nova, you would only do 0.01 in one position. You understand? So rather than doing 0.01 in two positions, if you're taking the trade from Nova, you only do it in one position. So this only applies to trades that you take from Nova. If you have a $200 to $300 account, normally you would use 0.02 in two positions. But if you're taking the trade from Nova, you only use 0.02 in one position. If you have $300 to $500, you take 0.03 and 0.02 normally. But if you're taking it from Nova, only take 0.03 once. So you're reducing your risk by 50%. So I hope that was clear. So what you do, let's say you do 0.02 in four positions, you reduce it to what? 0.02 in only two positions. So whatever you're doing with Nova, always reduce it by 50%. But if you're taking from Synergy, you're taking from Pulse X, you use your normal risk percentage. So I hope that was clear. If maybe that wasn't clear, just you can, like I said, you can ask questions. Now, when you're taking the trades, this is how it's gonna look like basically. You get when you're taking the trades, this is how it is going to look like basically. So the signals are going to look like this. You're going to see sell gold 47.20 to 47.22. You're going to see this is how it's going to basically look like. So I'm going to be showing you examples of how exactly you execute these trades. And moving back to my previous point of why you should only take one trade daily and why you should reduce it by 50% on Nova is because the stop loss for Nova trades most of the time is 100 pips. You understand? Most of the time it is 100 pips stop loss. So reducing your risk is basically you reducing your risk you get. So yeah, moving on. So if you are told to sell gold in this case, if you're told to sell gold in this case, oh, also to reiterate as well, the reason why you can now also use 0.02, let's say in two positions, if you have a $200 account on Pulse X and Synergy, is because the risk is way lesser. So Pulse X, the maximum pips in terms of stop loss is 40 pips. You understand? So that's why you can use 0.02 into position. Same thing for Synergy as well. So yeah, now we fully moved on from that. Now, if you see this signal, for example, you see the signal, you see it sell gold. And guys, also you have to note, yeah, when you want to trade, especially with Synergy and Pulse X, you have to be active. So this is not something you trade and go and drop your phone because these trades, they move fast. You understand? When you are free during the daytime, because they drop trades from morning till night. When you are free during the daytime, whether that is in the afternoon, whether that's in the morning, whether that is in the night, just be on your phone. Once you're on, don't make sure your phone is on do not disturb, just like me. Sorry, my own phone is on do not disturb. So make sure your phone is not on do not disturb. Don't be like me. But when you are taking these trades, we have to be active because, like I said, these trades they move quite fast. Like a trade will be sent out, and a minutes later, you're seeing take profit hit. So you have to be, you have to be on your toes. You have to be, locked in. So whenever you want to take the trades, don't be, doing anything. Don't, say, oh, I want to go and cook or I want to go and clean. Want to take the trades, just be on your phone because 1, 2, 3 minutes, you're already out. You understand? So don't, you know, miss out on the opportunity to actually close in profit because you were doing something else. But yeah, so if you get this notification, okay, sell gold. So first things first, just come to your MetaTrader 5. So you're going to come to your MetaTrader 5. I'm sure we all know the procedure of like how to take trades, which I explained in my previous video. So click on trade. So you want to click on trade. You want to click on trade. And once you see the stop loss, the first thing you want to do, guys, before you take any trade, first you want to do is always impute the stop loss. You understand? Always impute the stop loss first. So once you click on it and you want to click on the trade, impute the stop loss first, because the stop loss is probably the most important thing. Impute the stop loss first. So let's say they say sell. Let me even edit this to current market price. So let's say they said sell gold at 48.62 to 48.64. Let's say this is where they say sell gold at. What you want to do is that you want to now put your stop loss. So let's say the stop loss was what? 48.66. Let's say that's what the stop loss was. So they said that we should sell gold at 48.60. So it means that if gold is around the zone of 48.62 to 48.64, we should take the trade. If it is not there, don't take the trade. You get. So now I can currently see that gold is at 48.62. So you see this number that is above sell by market. That is the current market price. So what I want to do, okay, I see that it is around the current market price. What I want to do is quickly put in my stop loss. So 48.66 is my stop loss. Once I do that, I want to click on sell immediately. Once I do that, I want to click on sell immediately. Why am I doing this? To make sure, and by the way, this is a demo account so that I can actually show you guys like what to do and what not to do. But yeah, let's say I take the trade and I've put my stop loss. Now, the reason why I'm putting my stop loss before even putting any take profits is because I want to, get into the trade before it probably leaves the zone. I always want to get into the trade first before it leaves the zone. So stop loss is the most important thing to put first. You can always put your take profits later. So let's say you have taken, let's say now we have $100 account, want to take in two positions. So 0.02 twice. What I can do is come here again, click on trade, put in my stop loss. Let's do imagine it is still in the zone, put in my stop loss and click on sell. You understand? Put in my stop loss and click on sell. Now, guys, in this case, I did not take the trade in the zone. I'll explain that one later. But let's say, yeah, we've taken these trades now. We've put in our stop loss. Now, the next thing we want to do is to put in our take profits. The next thing we would want to do is to put in our take profit. So let's say the first TP was what? 48.60. Let's say that's what the first TP is. The second TP is 48.57. Then the third TP is 48.55. Okay, now what am I going to do in this scenario? I've taken this trade, I've put in my stop loss, I've put in my stop loss, and I'm already inside the trade. What I now want to do is because most of the time, these trades will actually move faster than this. Most of the time, these trades are going to move faster than this. So what I want to do, now that I've put in I've taken the trade, I've put in my stop loss, and what is remaining now is my take profits. What I want to quickly do is to modify position. So once I've taken the trade, I want to now modify position and put in my take profits. I want to modify position and put in my take profits. So once I've modified the position, I will now put in my take profit. So the take profit was what? 48.60, and I will just click on modify. So like this now, I have put in my take profits. So I've put it on one. Now I'm going to put it on the second one. Now, what you want to do is that you want to click on it, click on modify position, then put in the second take profits. Put in the second take profits. And like I said, these things, they move very fast. So you will have to be quick. So once you've done that, like in hindsight, it should not take you anything more than a minute to do all of this. So once you've done this, now what next? What next? If this trade hits take profits one, you're going to get a notification on the group. Now, personally, I would advise that you should most of the time use take profits one. So the reason why we even open two positions is that if by chance we want to maybe extend our TPs beyond TP1, once a trade hits take profits one, so the first take profits, what you want to do is that you always, because it will close automatically. If this trade first profit, Then what am I going to do? I'm still to have one more running position. Is that I want to quickly get my stop loss to my entry so that the trade is now a risk-free trade. So if the trade hits TP1, always move your stop loss to entry. So you'll probably be closed out in one position. You'll probably be closed out in one position and you have another position running. So let's say now we got closed out. This trade hit TP1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly come here, click on modify position and modify it to my entry. And I can see that my entry was what? 4862.44. That was my entry. Because of I know below entry, I cannot modify, but that's what you want to do. Modify your stop loss to your entry and modify. Now, there's a faster way to do this, which is the way that I personally use. It is very fast. There's a faster way to, put in your take profit and put in your stop loss. Very, very fast. But this is the traditional way. This is the traditional way of doing, putting in your stop loss and putting in your take profit. So I hope that was clear. Yeah. Once a trade hits TP1, very important, always move your stop loss to entry. So if a trade hits TP1 and you are closed out in one position and you still have one more position running, move the stop loss to what? Break even. Now, another thing you can do, because of maybe you don't want the headache, you just want to collect your money and go, always use TP1. So if a trade is sent out, don't go for TP2, just always use TP1. So if you always use TP1, there's never going to be a need for you to, move your stop loss to break even. There's never going to be a need for you to move your stop loss to break even if you use TP1. So that one is also there. If you just want to collect your money and go, that one is also advisable because, you are more likely to hit TP1 than you are to hit TP2. So that's also advisable for you. Once a trade hits TP1, you're closed out in profit. So always go for TP1. So now that is the first thing we're going to talk about. Another thing as well you should note when taking these trades from, when taking these trades from ProTrader is that you do not want to make the mistake of entering a trade late. This is something a lot of you might, come across. You never want to enter a trade when it is late. This also stems back to me saying, you need to take only 5 to 6 trades a day, even though there are 20, 25 trades sent out, you're not probably going to be lucky to catch all of them at entry. Now, you see this sell gold at 48.62 to 48.64. This is the zone where we are meant to sell. So what does that mean? If this trade, if price, is not around this entry zone, I cannot enter. If price is not around this entry zone, I cannot enter. So now, for example, let us look at this now. We can see that price. So if we want to take the trade, we'll come and click here, click on trade. We can see that price is around 48.63. So that means it is around the entry zone. However, if this price was below 48.62, which is the bare minimum. So let us say the price was below 48.62. This is not a trade that we should take. Like now, for example, you guys can see this trade. If you look at the number just below XAU USD, if you look at the number just below XAU USD, you can see 4861.86. That is the number there. So that is the price at which we enter the market. And if you listen to what I was saying, this is below the entry zone. So this is not around the entry zone. So that means, we entered the trade late. And this is not something you want to do. If the trade is not around the entry zone, that is between 48.62 to 48.64 or whatever number that they give. So now, for example, if we're to buy, they say, oh, the entry zone is 47.23 to 47.21. If this trade was not, if the current market price was not around this entry zone, you do not take the trade. So never enter a trade when it is not around the entry zone. You understand? Never enter a trade when it is not around the entry zone given. So that is the first one. Another thing as well you should note, when taking these trades, once TP1 has hit, like I said, secure profits and break even, or better yet, just always go for TP1. Better yet, just always go for TP1 so that no matter what, you don't need to stress yourself breaking even because, guys, price can move extremely fast sometimes. So a trade might hit TP1 and the next second it has reversed. You understand? So one thing to, help you in that scenario is that once a trade has hit TP1, don't don't take the trade number one, and you can just close out your profits to be on the safer side. To be on the safer side. You understand? So yeah, I hope that was clear. Now I'm going to give you guys a very fast way of entering a trade, like a faster alternative. Some people might understand it, some people might not understand it, but I'm just going to still, give you guys the example just in case some people might understand it. So what you do is that you make sure you click on XAUSD, click on charts, then there's a column on the top right. So you just click on it and you click sell. So make sure the lot size is the right lot size, and you click sell. So you click sell, accept, click sell, and like that, you've entered the trade. Now, how do you set your stop loss on this? So where it says 0.01, you click on it, then you click on SL, then you adjust it to, the stop loss price. Then same thing for take profit. You can adjust it to the take profit price. And like that, you're good to go. So that's the faster way. But if that was too complicated for you, please, you don't need to rush into it. Use the first method that I gave. That one was very simple. Just come to quotes, click on XAUSD, click on trade. It's very clear here. Make sure you put the stop loss in the right position. Make sure you put the right lot size. Make sure you put, your take profits, and then you click on sell. Should not take you, should not take you a lot of time to, actually do that. So, guys, that is it for this example. Now, let's say now, for example, we're told to, buy gold. So I'm going to quickly close all of this. Let's quickly close all of that. Again, like I said, guys, this is just a demo account to just explain the examples and whatever. So losses, wins, like they don't really matter here. This is just like an example. So now let's say, for example, you are told to buy gold. Let me edit the price to actually match. Let me edit the price to actually match current market price. So let's say you were told to buy gold for 4 to 48.64 to 48.61, and let's say the take profit was 48.66, 48.69, 48.71, and maybe the stop loss was what, 48 48.59. Yeah. So let's say this was the stop loss. So if you were to buy gold, what are you going to do in this scenario? Come to your MC5, quickly head on to quotes, click on not click on charts, click on my network. Yeah. Okay. So click on trade. Again, you confirm if it is around market or so before you even click on click on sell, ask yourself, is this thing around the entry zone that they gave? Okay, so I'm going to have to edit the entry zone. Okay, no, there's no need. So ask yourself, is it around the entry zone that they gave? So now in this case, I gave the entry zone as 48.64 to 48.61. You can easily tell that currently the market is what, 866. So that's we're not at the entry zone. You understand? So it is clear that currently we are not at the entry zone. So this is a trade you would not take. So if you were to see the signal, and check your phone and say, oh, we're not even at the entry zone, this is a trade you would not take. Why? Because of it is not at the entry zone, you have probably missed it. You now wait for the next trade until you're at the entry zone. You get. But now, for example, let's say, oh, we were at the entry zone. Let's say, for example, we were at the entry zone. Maybe the entry zone was what? 48.66. Let's just use this example. Let's say we were at the entry zone. You check, okay, we are at the entry zone. What do you do now? You click on, you put your stop loss. So the stop loss was what? 48.59. Put your stop loss 48.59, then click on buy. Oh my goodness. I just hope this thing is recording, because it would really be painful if this thing was not recording, because my network is very, very bad for some weird reason. Okay. Yeah, so let's say we're at the entry zone. You put in your stop loss, you click on buy, you want to put in your take profits, quickly put Modify trade or take profits 48.68. Modify. Guys, normally it's not this slow. It's because of my network. Once you click on Modify, you are good to go. So now your stop loss is set, your take profit is set. Once it hits TP1, you're going to get closed out in profit. So guys, it is very, very simple. It is very, very, very simple. It is very, very, very simple. So guys, that is it on how to, take trades on the groups. If you don't have any questions, make sure you ask. And I'm just going to quickly explain like what these zones are, you know, sorry, I'm going to quickly explain pips for some of you that don't understand and like what they equate to in terms of dollar amounts. So let's say now, for example, you see there's a difference between 47.20 to 47.25 with gold. That is a total of what, 50 pips. 46.86 to 46.89, that is what, a total of 30 pips. So you're literally just counting. So 47.21, that's one. 47.22, that's two. 47.23, that's three. 47.24, that's four. 47.25, that's five. So that's now what, 50 pips. 46.86 to 46.89, same thing, 30 pips. 46.80 to 46.76, same thing, 40 pips. You get. And for every 0.01, every 10 pips equals to, $1. So every 0.01, every 10 pips equals to $1. So 30 pips equals to what? $3. 0.02, every 10 pips equals to $2. 30 pips equals to $6. 0.03, every 10 pips equals to $3. 30 pips equals to $9, and so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, this is how you should be taking trades on the pro trader groups. Once you see a trader CTP1, check out and break even, or better yet, just close out all of your profits. You understand? Just close out all of your profits. You get, and also follow instructions that are given on the group. Very, very important. So if they say, "Oh, close it at entry," close it at entry. If they say, "Oh, don't take it at cancel the trade," cancel it. You understand? So follow instructions. If you get confused at any point in time, don't feel shy to ask questions. Ask any questions that come to mind. If there's something that confuse you, make sure you ask. And before you start trading on your live account, this is very important. You want to practice on demo. So practice on your demo, with the trades that are given. Practice on your demo for a given amount of time. Practice, practice, practice until you finally perfect your craft, or at least you're confident enough to actually take the trades and actually make money from them on your live account. So before you say, "Oh, let me start trading on my live account," please make sure you practice all that I taught you today on your demo account. It is very, very important so that you don't make any mistakes. You don't, end up, yeah, you don't end up making any mistakes basically. So please make sure you practice on your demo, ask any questions when necessary, don't feel shy. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck. And yeah, I can't wait to actually see your testimonials.